Dee, 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 dee. We're here.
Hi.
Hi. Nice to see you in your striped shirt. You look very French.
I'm a mime. I'm in a box, Debriana.
You are. This is our life in a box. We've been in a box for a year.
We've been living in a box.
Living in a box for a year. I have to look to see. I was wondering today what day we actually started this, but it's coming up on a year, people.
Is it really? Oh my God.
Yeah, I think we started it in March. So I think maybe another month or so. But yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
And here we are.
Well, it has to be because we've done 238 episodes, I think.
Oh.
And we were doing it straight 142 days in a row or something before we stopped just doing, taking weekends off. So we've got to be pretty close.
Holy mackerel. That is a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been here a long time. We've been doing this pandemic thing for a long time.
When I saw the photos of you today eating outside at a beautiful restaurant in the mountains, I was like, I want to live.
They did 10,000 Waves, did the most beautiful job of they have it down. We were between heaters. We were sitting on the balcony outside that was open. There was a heater between our feet, and they came over and brought us blankets. So we were sitting outside. And, we were masked the whole time except when we were eating, but we were there, and about at another table farther down were two other people, and that was it.
Well, it looked divine, and I was like,
It was 21 degrees, just in case you were wondering why we were so bundled up.
Well, you look like you were having a great time celebrating your birthday, and I was just really happy for you. And I
Thank you.
Like, wait a minute, we're not in home jail anymore. Can we somehow ever leave?
I know, it was really something. Well, the really fun thing he told me about, and this sounded like a really interesting thing to do. The waiter we had today was very well schooled in sake, and that restaurant, Izanami, has the best sake collection of I guess their wines in the country.
Wow.
And so this time of year, they do their sake flights. So every week when you go, if you go, we did that for a long time until COVID. We would go every week and have a flight of sake, and they would explain it. They have all these amazing organic, and they know where all the rice came from and which family had it. So now they're doing virtual, once a month, virtual sake flights. And they will send you the 3 bottles of sake that they're going to feature. You go to the site. They take you on a tour of where the sake is made in Japan.
How fun. That's kind of cool.
It was very cool. I was like, wow, that sounds really interesting. Maybe we'll do that.
That sounds fun. Well, tell people, for those who don't know, in Santa Fe, up above the mountains, there's this incredible spa. It's called 10,000 Waves, and it is a traditional Japanese spa in the mountains, and it's truly magnificent. And they have a hotel and restaurant, and Debriana was at the restaurant part of it. But if you ever come and visit here, you have to go there because it's truly, it's just incredible.
Yeah. The restaurant is called Izanami, and it's not a sushi restaurant. They have mostly it's, I guess, Japanese-inspired food, but they have the best ribs, the best hamburger in town, bar none. That Wagyu hamburger is phenomenal.
What's weird is a lot of people in the U.S. don't realize that Japanese people don't just eat sushi. Like that's like one type of food they have. I remember living in New York, and visiting a friend who lived in Japan for 10 years, and he was like, okay, we're going to go to the real Japanese restaurants now. And he would take us to these places, and it was so delicious, but it was just, Japanese, like, comfort food.
Oh, their fried chicken they have up there. Oh, it's so good. Incredible. They serve them on little plates, so you can share, and there's small plates, but their fried chicken's phenomenal. I had lobster ramen today.
Debriana.
It was so good.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah, and they gave me dessert for my birthday, and it was a matcha cheesecake on a coconut crust. It was with white chocolate shaved on top.
I saw the picture.
Beautiful. It was beautiful. I'll post pictures. I don't usually post pictures of where I am until after I've left. Does this call me paranoid about people knowing where I live?
I hear you.
Yeah, so I don't, but I will post pictures. We had a great time.
So I'm just chopping apples right now.
Yeah, tell me about it. You haven't stopped.
So I'm making a big batch of applesauce, and I peeled 4 pounds of apples, and now I'm chopping them into these types of size slices. Okay,
so like a 1/4 inch thick?
Like you would for an apple pie. Okay, it's the same.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm putting them in this big stock pot, and I'm going to cook them till they're soft and mashable, and then I'm going to put them in a Cuisinart. You're not going to see that part, but I will post it after we talk. Okay. It's really important, and I used to make, like, we posted that Diane Keaton video.
That was so funny.
From Baby Boom, and I don't know if you guys remember the movie, but she makes, like, she gets snowed in Vermont, and like every cupboard is filled with applesauce, and because she just doesn't have anything to do all winter. So that's kind of how it is. And I used to be like that when I had little babies and I made homemade baby food and all that kind of stuff. I haven't done this in a really long time, but what I found through my research of making a ton of applesauce over the years is that it really helps if you have different types of apples. So a neighbor gave me a bag of Gala apples. They are not my favorite. So I thought,
they're not mine either.
I said, thank you, because she had some beautiful, organic apples, but I don't like them. So I'm like, oh, I'm making applesauce later this week. and that's fine. That's totally fine. And then in my fridge, I had some Honey Crisp, and then I bought some Granny Smith today. So I'm going to have 3 different types. And if you use the different kinds, it really adds some dimension to it. If you just use one kind, and it took me a while to learn that, but it really matters. And you can make just, if you go to the store, you see what they can add to applesauce. You can get the strawberry, the cherry, apricot applesauce,
pears, yeah,
and pear, ginger, whatever. So tonight I'm going to do 2 different batches. I'm going to do the traditional that Seamus really loves, which is basically cinnamon, brown sugar, lemon juice, and a little bit of vanilla. And so that's just that traditional one, and it tastes so good. It's so easy to make. You just, cook these down. They get really soft. You add the spices and stuff, and then you put it in the Cuisinart.
Oh, speaking of Cuisinart, you don't have one, you say? Well, you could win one.
We win one with $5 donation. Now, where are you going to find that? I ask you. So
yes, if you go to our GoFundMe, because we're almost done. We almost raised the amount we wanted to finish the cookbook. And FYI, we are shooting it starting on the 24th. So we won't be around for a little while we're shooting, but we'll post all pictures of that.
There'll be a lot of reruns, but we'll show you behind the scenes.
We might do some live on the scene, Facebook Live, spontaneous.
We could do a TV show one day at the end of the day or something. I don't know. But so that's one type I'm making. The other type I'm going to make tonight is I'm going to make cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, orange zest and orange juice in it. So it's going to be a little like, and honey. I'm going to use honey instead of brown sugar. But the thing is that I'm doing tonight, because I don't want it to be watery with the honey, I'm going to, after I cook these down, I'm going to drain the juice so it's not super juicy, before I add them. So that's kind of,
okay, so tell me, what do you do with applesauce? Do you just eat it in a jar? Do you out of the jar? Or do you what?
Well, pork chops and applesauce. I mean,
yep.
Okay, I'm putting a cup of water in.
Do you remember that episode? Pork chops and applesauce.
That's like a Brady Bunch, people.
Yep.
Oh, and by the way, guess what I did yesterday? I made a lot of granola.
Perfect.
Debriana's homemade granola. I'm hungry. I want to have so good.
I'm surprised you didn't put any green chili in your applesauce.
I mean, you can. It is unlimited. I have put jalapeno in before if I'm going to cook it with some kind of meat or something, or latkes. But I'm just doing, because I have kids that just love applesauce, and so they'll eat it like twice a day. They just love it. I
love it with yogurt myself.
You can have granola, yogurt. You can mix it with, whipped cream if you want to get all fancy, or ice cream. And it's homemade, and I like it kind of chunky.
Yeah, I do too.
So good. It's so much better than what you buy. And when you buy it, let's face it, it's very expensive if you think about it. You buy the organic kind. It's not cheap.
No, you could use a food mill too if you have one, instead of a Cuisinart if you want.
And you know what else you could use? I know Martha Stewart uses a potato masher. You just they get soft, and that's the really chunky kind.
Can you freeze it? I of course I do.
You're asking Debriana if you can freeze it.
Can you freeze it? Why, yes, you can.
I think you can. I mean, I think you can.
I always freeze my apple butter, so I'm sure you can freeze applesauce.
I'm not of the school of, some people are of the school of cooking it with all the ingredients, cooking it down. I found that it is more flavorful if you cook the apples first on their own, then add all the stuff, and then you jar it, just put it in the fridge, and it really marinates. Like the next day, it'll just be so good. So yeah, we won't have this until tomorrow, but I will absolutely post pictures of along the way of all the.
Are you going to use? Are you cooking it with a cinnamon stick or no?
You can. If I had a cinnamon stick, I would put it in here, but I don't, and that is a really good thing to do. There's a lot of water that comes off the apples that you have to remember too, so you don't want to put in too much water. But like right now, just with a cup of water with 4 pounds of apples, it's just increasing in water. You know what I mean? Like it's not going down.
Yeah, so you need to watch how much water you add. Like add it slowly.
Yes. But so this will take about probably half an hour to cook, and they'll get mushy. Not too mushy. You don't want to be mushy mush, but like right before.
You don't want squish.
Right before mush. And then I'm just gonna put mine in the Cuisinart and go pulse, and you pick the consistency you want, and then I will put it in the different kinds, probably in 2 big bowls, and stir in all the different spices and flavors. Like that orange one, I'm really interested to know what that's going to be like. I'm just using what I have. I have a really beautiful orange, and I have some ginger, and I have some really good wildflower honey. So I just wanted to try that.
Yeah, so she's going to add the honey at the end after. Oh, and yes, your nutmeg squisher.
Debriana gave me this for one of my Christmas presents, and I used it yesterday on the granola, and I'm going to use it tonight on.
Isn't it crazy?
It is so great.
Life-changing, that thing. I love it.
I'll never hurt myself with a nutmeg and the grater ever again. The microplane will never hurt me with the nutmeg. So thank you.
Yes. Oh, you're welcome. I'm telling you, the first time I saw that, mind blown. Okay, so yes, she will add the honey after she's drained the apples so that
I'll add
they don't get too syrupy.
Yeah. It just, the thing is that I'm making two different kinds. If I were not doing that, I could add it all at the end and then put it in the Cuisinart. You can do it that way too. It's very forgiving. There's no wrong way really to do this. You could overcook the apples, but it's not going to be.
And even if you do, so what? Okay, so somebody's asking, how many pounds of apples are you using and how much sauce will you end up with?
That's a really good question. I'm using 4 pounds, and I think this is going to be 2 big mason jars. That's my prediction. But when I post the recipe, you'll find out. That's usually what it is.
So you peeled and cored them, the apples.
I peeled, cored them just like you prepare for apple pie. Okay. Mm-hmm. No skin, no seeds, no core, and then you just, like quarter and
slice them. Yeah.
Yeah. And okay. 3 different types of apples. That's really the key, is you want to mix it up flavor-wise. You will get an applesauce you're not used to from the store. It's it's so much more flavorful this way. It's delicious. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to post all the different stages and you'll see that.
Yay.
That's really about it. Here, we'll
don't forget the GoFundMe and the recipe contest, you guys. We need your recipes ASAP. Beautiful.
We need your recipes. And please, if you haven't donated, really $5 is all we're asking. We got to reach this goal.
We're almost to the end. And there's all these prizes. Okay, so we have a Cuisinart. We have a pair of earrings by my famous husband, Ford Forlano. We have a pair of earrings by one of our Corona Kitchen jeweler members, Patricia Strout. They're beautiful silver hoops. We have an apron, Meatball Chronicles apron from my solo show, signed by moi with a coffee cup.
We have 2 super killer cookbooks by Joanna Weir. They're Williams-Sonoma brand new cookbooks donated by Panina Meisels, world famous food photographer. And she signed them. And she signed them. They get to be yours.
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna do the drawing this week. So let's get it in. And the recipe contest. We need your recipes. So if you want to send us something, we would be happy. Go to thecoronakitchen@gmail.com and be part of our book.
The water is increasing from the apples cooking down. Just remember that. I only put in a cup of water. But if you had apple cider, I would put apple cider in it. I didn't have apple cider. So I'm using what's in my kitchen. But I will put this all in the recipe and you'll see.
Okay. Yay. Well, everybody have a good night. We will be back tomorrow. And be warm. It's going to be cold tonight. It was 1 degree last night when I went to bed.
This is a total polar blast, man. It's cold.
It's cold. I'm so grateful, though, because my trees looked like they might blossom. Last week was like beach weather. So I was like, stop.
It was. Hope everybody's safe and well.
Safe. Wear 2 masks. And welcome to all our new members. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining. We're having fun. We just keep on cooking. Keep on cooking.
Keep on cooking, everybody.